Hi, welcome to Tabletops and Bottoms, the show where we talk about all things TTRPG, nerdy, and or gay. And this week we're talking about podcasts and horror movies. This is a pre-recorded episode, which is why we're not wearing the same thing. So enjoy podcast.
Actually, mostly I'm using this as an excuse to talk about the fact that there are a good chunk of podcasts that I like, but I'm currently listening to the Magnus Protocol, because Magnus Archives is one of my favorites.
I know this.
This was entirely your fault.
I know this.
That I got into the Magnus Archives and afterward the Protocol, which is very good. Gwendolyn Bouchard has my whole heart, and I love her already.
I haven't listened yet.
I saw her name and I was like, I know I'm gonna love you. And I was right, she's my favorite character. Also, I love, like, the representation. Because it's, like, it feels so natural. Also, 10 out of 10, I'm also listening to Sherlock & Co., which is absolutely amazing. It's literally like if John Watson was, like, a podcaster.
Interesting.
And it's so good. But, like, Sherlock feels very, like, autistic coded, and I love it. And also, like, I fully ship, like, Sherlock, John, and Mariana as a throuple.
I've literally never heard of this podcast
so good.
before.
You should absolutely.
You've never talked about it before right now.
Because I wasn't sure if it was going to be up your alley, but I keep telling my sister, I was like, you need to listen to this, because she loves, like, Sherlock, right? The OGs.
I don't... I feel like you assume that I don't like mystery things. Even though, like, I don't know, I've been watching Poirot for, like, the past...
You have?
I don't know how many months. I have the entire box set of Poirot.
You do?
I fucking love him.
Okay, you should listen to Sherlock & Co. Absolutely phenomenal. You would super enjoy it then.
Yeah, I feel... And, like, that's all I've been... Last year I read, like, so many mystery novels.
God.
I feel like you don't associate that with me. Even though, like, that's one of my favorite genres.
This is... How many years have we been friends now? I don't know why. This is, like... I feel like I'm hearing this for the first time. There's another one that I was listening to called Tiny Terrors. That one's really short. They're very bite-sized.
Mm-hmm.
It's also very cosmic horror. Very Magnus Archives-y. Shorter, less scary.
Yeah, I like scary.
I mean, it is scary, but, like, they are called Tiny Terrors for a reason.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I, like, binge listened to it while I was with my sister.
Mm-hmm.
And then they haven't put any new episodes so far. Well, as of recording this, they haven't put out any new episodes so far. So, like, it's, you know,
yeah.
I'm just waiting for new episodes if they ever drop any.
You should listen to The White Vault. I say this every time.
You do. But also, you said that one's, like, genuinely scary.
It's
and, like,
not. To me.
You laugh at literally, like, every horror thing ever.
But Nicole likes it. And she doesn't like scary that much, right? I think. I don't know.
Nicole, like, really likes scary things.
I feel like none of you guys do except for me.
Your level of scary is, like, actually, like, I will piss myself terrified. Like I said, if you listen to one of our past bonus episodes, I slept with the lights on for 3 months after you made me watch Haunting of, like, Hill House, whatever.
I'm sorry for laughing. But it's not scary. I feel like the episode that we showed you was not scary at all.
It was absolutely fucking terrifying. Absolutely fucking terrifying. I was so scared, like, I screamed when, like, the light turned on.
I love horror.
I have never, like, screamed like that for any type of, like, horror thing ever. I loved it, right? And that one was so funny because when we were watching it, my sister and I, we had not watched chapter 1, like, in theaters, but we saw it, like, I think when it went on streaming, or it was on DVD or something, so we watched it, and we were like, shit, that's good, let's watch the second one. Chapter 2 was in theaters, and it was, like, kind of on the tail end of it being in theaters, so we're like, let's go watch it. So we watched it. We saw like the last showing, right? In the theater, in the movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
We're like sitting there and it's like us and like a couple behind us.
Uh-huh.
And so it's the scene where they're in spoilers, I guess if you haven't seen the movie, it's been out for a while, whatever. It's the scene where Pennywise or like the old lady's in the kitchen, right? And she comes running out of the kitchen like her titties are like swinging. And as she does, my sister screams. Like in the theater, I like jumped, but like I didn't jump because it was scary. I jumped because she screamed. And because she screamed, the couple behind us screamed.
Amazing.
So like she screamed, I jumped, and then I started laughing because I heard the couple behind us scream.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
The It movies aren't scary at all.
They're not scary.
No.
Those ones are very fun. I actually really enjoyed them.
I thought the second one was way more boring than the first one.
Oh, I really liked the second one actually.
I don't like when they're
I mean,
adults.
I like them equally.
Yeah, I like them as kids.
That's fair.
But I go to horror movies by myself sometimes.
You crazy. I can't do that.
I saw A Quiet Place by myself in
That's
theaters.
not scary though.
No, but it was only me and like a family behind me, and I was there, and I was just having my popcorn, just eating it. And then the little boy got, I laughed so hard. I know, I'm terrible. But it just made me laugh really hard. I don't know why.
Speaking of like movie theater experiences, I feel like every time I'm like in a movie theater with you, there's something that happens and then you just laugh and it's like the most out of pocket scene. Well,
Not every time.
not every time. And I also would like to catch up on certain things. Like I need to catch up on, oh my god, what's it called?
Appalachia.
Yeah, Old Gods of Appalachia.
I
Oh,
need
that
to-
one's so good.
I need to catch up. I have not proceeded past the time that I told you last.
I just need to listen to the new season that came out. That one's so good. Like it's absolutely one of my favorites. I love the storytelling part of it because it feels very much like you're sitting around an old campfire, you're listening to some old seasoned guy with a guitar like talking about the good old days. That's the voice that my sister calls is like my BuzzFeed voice.
I see.
But that one's really, really good.
Uh-huh.
If you
I like
haven't,
it. I like it a lot, but I haven't listened in a while. I don't really listen to much podcasts. The only one that I keep up with is Beach Too Sandy, Water Too Wet. It's my favorite podcast.
What is that?
It's just a comedy podcast.
Okay, that's fair.
They just read reviews of different things. Like, just really weird reviews sometimes. They're just funny. I just love them. It's just a comedy podcast.
Okay,
it's funny.
I can't say there's any like comedy podcasts that I listen to because like I don't want to say that like I'm a one-track mind, but like there are genres that like I very much like and I will kind of just like stick to those.
Uh-huh.
Like cosmic horror is my main genre, let's be real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I like comedy. I also listen, oh yeah, my Joe Pera hat. Saw him last night live.
Oh.
Yeah, so he has a Drifting Off to Sleep with Joe Pera podcast that I also like.
Did you drift off to sleep?
Sometimes. But it's very funny. In one of the episodes where he talks about video games, he has the voice actor that plays Arthur Morgan on it.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's
it's
cool.
fun. I like that one. But yeah, he's my favorite comedian.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I wish I could have any sort of like comedy podcast. I generally don't.
I'll send you one of my favorite episodes for each one. The video game one of his. They're really short too, like 15-ish minutes. But Beach Too Sandy can get long, but it's pretty funny.
I think the only comedy podcast I listen to is probably the Thrilling Adventure Hour. But I will say I don't actually like all of the stories or I guess segments that they have. I really only like two, which is Beyond Belief and Sparks, Nevada, Marshall and Mars.
I don't know what this podcast is.
It's like a live production. But it's literally a bunch of different segments.
Mm-hmm.
And each segment is its own little story.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, they all have, like, different plot lines. And, like, it's the same actors, but playing, like, different characters in each story. And so my two favorites, I'll start with Beyond Belief, because it's Paula Tompkins and Patrick Brewster. She's Emily in Criminal Minds, if people...
Means nothing to me.
That's fair. But it's very, very funny because they literally play these highbrow socialites who are also mediums and get drunk very, very often.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in every episode, they're, like, wildly drunk. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so funny. I think you would enjoy it. They don't put out as many episodes as they used to, but when they do put out new episodes, like, it's absolutely fantastic. And then Sparks Nevada, my other favorite one, is he's literally a marshal on Mars, and it's told in that very, like, old 1920s old-timey radio style aesthetic.
Yeah, the way you're describing it to me, I'm just thinking of Woody's Roundup. That's what I see in my head. Woody's Roundup.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I will accept this as a comparison. But yeah, it's really funny. Every episode has made me laugh. I super duper ship Sparks and Croach. If any of you out there know what I'm talking about, please let me know. I cannot be the only person.
This means nothing to me, I'm sorry.
But it's got Mark Evan Jackson, who plays Captain Holt's husband on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's
Never
Sparks.
watched it.
Mark Gagliardi is Croach. They're all fantastic comedians. You should just listen to it.
I don't know who these people are.
That's fair. Nathan Fillion is it, and he plays Cactoid Jim.
I know that guy.
Cactoid Jim is, like, not my favorite character, but, like...
I meant the actor, not the character. I know Nathan Fillion.
I will agree, I do like him as an actor. But I think that's the only comedy podcast. I mean, I listened to My Dad Wrote a Porno for a while.
Don't know what that is.
It's literally, like, this one guy who's like, my dad wrote a porno, and they read it out loud. And that's it. That's the whole podcast.
I see.
I haven't listened to a lot of that recently.
Oh.
I mean, I like listened to, like, a good chunk of episodes, and then after that I, like, stopped. Because I was in college also when I was listening to it, so I kind of fell off due to, like, schoolwork, and then I forgot about it.
I listen to a lot of the McElroy podcasts.
That makes sense to me, yes.
Yeah, all of the Taz, and also, have you reread the book? Okay, anyway. And their comedy, My Brother and Me podcast is really funny. I like that one too.
I know they were touring here a while ago.
Yeah, I went to their one, like, a couple years ago. And that's a lost episode now because people were being weird at it.
Oh.
Damn. I wish I could have gone to the other one.
I will say, Welcome to Night Vale is also one of my favorite ones.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go to all their live shows when they came here, and then COVID. And then
I never got to go to one. I literally had tickets for the one that was coming, and then they got canceled.
Oh. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is very fun. I remember going to those.
Isn't that... You were wearing a shirt, and that's how I started talking to you.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was the Investigators one, because that's the one where they had the, like, the blank face and the eyes were like this.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
didn't
don't
get
fit
to
that
go
shit anymore.
Oh, no!
I keep getting recommended Malevolent, because Nicole recommended it to me, and then it keeps coming up as a you might like, and I think it's also like a Rusty Quill production.
Oh, I've
that's
never heard of it.
Oh, Off Book was also really fun, but that's kind of only if you really like musicals.
I don't know what that is.
And that gets chaotic really fast. Which, I mean, insane talent from literally all the performers, because, like, it's an impromptu musical that they're coming up with. So, like, that's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
But I haven't listened to that one in a while. But I actually found them because I was watching Dropout, and it was the Game Changer episode where they were doing like the musical one.
Yeah.
That's how I found out about Off Book. The show that they spun it off of is called Play It By Ear, which is very fun. I really enjoy that one.
Yeah.
No, you and Alma absolutely should write a horror. I think you would be very good at, because like you really, really like horror. And it's also not the type of...
I think it should be all three of us because...
Listen, I really purely only like cosmic horror.
That's fine.
So like that's the only thing that I can actually write about.
That's fine. That's horror.
That's true.
Oh. You did a little twitchy. I don't know what I listened to.
That's fair.
The One Piece podcast.
There's a One Piece podcast?
Yeah.
I literally did not know that.
Yeah, they talk about the chapter and the anime episode every week. And then they talk about any news that's come out. And they just talk about the show. Yeah.
Amazing. That's wild to me.
I listen to it sometimes. I haven't listened to it for a while. I used to listen to a lot of, like, amusement park podcasts, too. I haven't done that in a while. My favorite one ended when I was in, like, high school.
I was gonna say, like, speaking of podcasts, and also because when you were scrolling through, I saw the logo for it. Mm-hmm. I actually started listening to Critical Role before I...
watched it?
Before I watched it. And hot take, I didn't actually enjoy it. And I also know from a lot of people, they're like, first arc, you can start like halfway through it, because there was like a whole weird thing that happened in the beginning. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I basically like Cliff Notes that. So I've only seen some episodes and like just a lot of clips from their campaign 1, and I saw none of campaign 2. Started campaign 3 and then did not keep up with it because I personally don't have the attention span to sit there.
Yeah, and like for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they go on for a really long time.
Yeah. That's why I like the Amazon show.
Yeah, me too. That was good for me.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just such a commitment. I was like, oh, I like the Amazon show. What if I went? And then I looked at the list and I was like,
never mind. Yeah.
Close that.
Because like all their episodes are like 4 hours long.
That's
and
insane.
I'm like, I'm sorry. I can't do it.
If you follow them, that's very dedicated.
Honestly, yeah. I know a lot of people who are like diehard critters. And I'm like, that's
critters.
Cool. Yeah. Like, I'm like, that's cool. Like, shout out to you for being able to do that.
Yeah.
I can't. And I know Misha's wife really likes Critical Role and will actually sit down and watch it every Thursday. And I'm like,
that's a lot.
Kudos to you, because I cannot.
No.
I've only ever seen like their one shots. Like, I really liked their Monster Hearts one. I have listened. That one's like, I also want to like tangent into like comfort shows, but specifically like TTRPG ones or like nerd ones. But anyway, Monster Hearts is one of my Critical Role comfort shows. I've seen that one a lot. And then from Dimension 20, my comfort series is Misfits and Magic. I love that one. I've seen that so many times. So let's end that episode here. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you want to hear more from us, go ahead and give us a comment. If you want us to talk about something, give us a comment. Just like, subscribe, do all the things, push the buttons, you know what to do.
Yep, you can always find us here on YouTube as well as Spotify. And if you wanted to support us in another way, you can always buy us a Ko-fi.
Bye!